Hey, welcome. I'm Cartes Ross, and welcome to the funnest and easiest business that, forgot to turn my lights on. So I'm going to lead it in the video because I want you all to see that this is how it works. It's the funnest, easiest business because you don't have to be all that serious and extra and dramatic and professional. This is a business model where you get to be yourself. And in my case, I'm wearing pajamas at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, simple t-shirt, ball cap, hadn't left the house yet. So what is this business model? And when I tell you, don't get scared. Don't say, oh my God, I heard about this before. I don't want to do that, but I'm going to show you how you can make a boatload of money. It's a twist. So what I'm talking about is essentially setting up your own YouTube channel and talking about stuff that you're currently living through now. One of the biggest questions folks have as it relates to starting a business online is, what do I talk about? What do I do? What type of business can I start? And this model has so many different ways you can make money. So don't just think of this thing as being a typical YouTuber. This is bigger than that. Now, there are a lot of YouTubers making a ton of money. Many of them make ad revenue and collect money from Google. I have as well. But the other avenues, you tend to make a lot more money and you actually get to do the thing that you enjoy. So in this video, I'm going to share some examples so that you can understand how this model works. I purposely am using this whiteboard because I could have done what many other folks do, and that's get a fancy TV screen and spend hours putting together a fancy PowerPoint presentation with all the fancy graphics and videos and all of that. But I'm not doing that because I want you to see the simplicity. I'm sitting on my sofa in my living room. I could be shooting this and talking about this from my garage. I could be in the front yard or the backyard. I could be in a garden. I could be in the kitchen. I could be in the car running my chops. It doesn't matter. I want you to understand the simplicity of this. This is a microphone. You can buy these for like $5 and $10 online. I'm shooting this video from my cell phone. I didn't go out and buy fancy equipment. And I have 2 lights. I spent less than $50. And I'm gonna show you how to get all of that and where to get it all as well. It's cheap. You can get this whole thing going for less than $100, assuming you already have a cell phone. $20, $30 for this whiteboard. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Fun, no shoes, no socks, just straight pajamas in the going on evening time. And in fact, I need to eat dinner. So, and I'm gonna stop rambling. So here's the deal. What do I talk about? And I'm going to talk about how you monetize this shortly after. So the easiest thing to talk about let me backtrack. So YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. The number one search engine, of course, is Google. And when people don't find what they're looking for on Google, by default, they go straight to YouTube to do the same search. So people are searching because they want to hear people talk. They want to see, they want to learn, because there's lots of information on YouTube. So as I was saying, whatever you're living through now, that is the easiest thing to talk about. And the reason why I use the word easiest is because you're currently living through it. And now the only thing you need to do is just add a camera component to it and just share your experiences. So for example, right now I'm going through a divorce as of this recording. Lots of emotions and anger and rage, attorneys, child support, custody, and all of this other stuff. So stuff I didn't know about. So what do? I go on the internet and I start researching. And what you'll be surprised to know is that there are lots of communities where people are sharing information with other people on YouTube on how to best protect yourself, what to look out for, what to do, what to avoid, how to get help, etc., etc. And that's just a simple example. So, and I'm gonna give you another example. I have a friend who's blind. She has type 2 diabetes and it's kind of gotten out of control. And so as she's dealing with this blindness, I think she's at about 90% of her vision is gone. As she's learning new things. She's dealing with different challenges from day to day. But as she goes through this, she's learning about the different technologies that are available to assist her. She's learning about the different programs and benefits that are available for those that are blind or visually impaired. And so as she learns this, she can share it with other people and build her own community. And as she builds this community, people will start to look to her as an expert. Now she's actually talking about moving to Medellin. I'm making a trip back to Medellin, and she's looking at possibly moving there. So guess what happens when you start to see this blind woman packing her bags up and leaving and traveling outside the United States to go live in another country? That's going to inspire a whole bunch of other folks who are like, I didn't think I can do it on my own. I didn't. So as she gets there, she starts to share those experiences and build a following or community of people who at some point, many of them will start to buy stuff from her, buy consultation from her, get advice from her. And there's some stuff that you can create to sell some premium products where people will buy. And I'll talk about that later on. Now, everybody in your community is not going to buy, and that's not what we're hoping for. We just need a small percentage of them to buy. So what are you currently living through now that you can share? Me, for example, I'm dealing with type 2 diabetes myself. My feet are starting to itch, and tips of my toes are starting to get numb. And so now I realize I need to get this under control. So I'm going to switch my diet. I've tried this before. It worked. I got rid of it. I got off medication, and then I went back to my old habits. But now I'm going to try and make that switch permanently. But I'm going to document it on a separate YouTube channel. And for those who want to follow that journey, because there's people are waking up every single day learning that they have type 2 diabetes. And yes, there are a bunch of other folks out there that already have content and communities out there. And that's fine. And we'll talk about that later. But that just proves that there's a market and that you can go into that market and get a piece of it yourself. There's more than enough for everybody. So some other examples of what you're currently living through. Let's see here. Travel. When I lived in Medellin, Colombia, I met a lot of people that were backpacking through these countries, solo, by themselves, men and women, just going through these different countries alone and exploring. And I thought it was the most amazing thing. And guess what? There's people who wants to go on the journey with you. There are people who wake up every day and have the idea that they want to backpack. Many of them are scared. Many of them don't know what to do. Many of them don't know how to plan it. They want to know what country to go to, which countries not to go to. They want to know from you. They want to get your experiences. So guess what? You can start packaging up your information that you can sell. Some folks will be glad to get on the phone with you and talk to you on a 1-hour consultation and pay you. That's what we did when we went to Medellin. I'm no travel expert, but when we got to Colombia, I started documenting every single day of our 6-month stay. People started asking questions. To them, I became the expert because they had never been there, and they're watching my content. They're watching the information that I'm sharing. And like many of the people watching the video for the first time, I'm learning this stuff as I go. So like I say, people want to follow you along for the journey. And as you continue on your journey, you start to learn more and more and more and more, because there's quite a lot more people who are currently living in Medellin that have been there longer than I have and still there 5, 10, 15 years, no more than me. But I'm the guy who put out the content. I'm the one putting my face out. I'm the one sharing my stuff. So I have a link on the site. We charge $195 to talk on the phone just to get some advice and some feedback and consultation. And guess what? It's been a while since I've been to Medellin. And yet we still sell quite a few of those consultations every month. and our channel is getting larger and larger by the month. So that's what I'm saying. What is it that you're currently living through that you can talk about? Now, I know this, I said this is supposed to be the funnest business, and it seems like a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about is doom and gloom, but it doesn't just necessarily apply to that. Hobbies, passions, what specialized skill sets do you have? I'm just talking about what you're living through now, because everybody is going through something, whether it's positive or good. And you can be documenting this stuff and building up a community and sharing it. It doesn't cost any money to put up a YouTube channel. It's free, it's simple, it's easy. Just start. That's it. Pick a topic, stay on point on that topic. Don't go out there and start talking about 50 million other things. So for example, I mean, you can go to the bookstore. Go to the bookstore today. This is my challenge to you. Go to the bookstore today, Barnes and Nobles, and go to the magazine rack. And you can see all these magazines on a variety of topics. And so, for example, I saw a topic about, what was it, 50 amazing amusement parks in the U.S. So this magazine went out there and looked at all the top amusement parks with the wildest rides and whatnot, and they documented it. So what happens if you decided to go hit up all these 50 or 50, 60, 70 or 80 amusement parks in the United States and talked about it? Maybe you're into putt-putt golf and you can hit up all the popular putt-putt golf courses in the United States, the funnest ones, the most bizarre ones, and you're documenting it. You become the expert on putt-putt golfing throughout the United States. Perhaps you like hiking and going through these trails. You can document that, bike trailing, and people want to know. They want to follow you. That's why they have all these documentaries on the Discovery Channel, the Cooking Channel, like Anthony Bourdain going to all these countries and eating, and people watching him eat. They will watch you too. And if you don't believe me, go look on YouTube and you'll see regular folks that have 500,000 followers, 10,000 followers, 20 million followers, and these are just regular everyday folk. You know what I mean? There was another magazine, 50 weekend getaway places you can go, and you can create your own 50 getaway places and just create the videos and talk about these places and what you liked about them and blah blah blah, and people will follow you. It doesn't even matter the topic. There are huge communities online that talks about depression. Regular folks that were battling depression, they decided to get online, share what they were dealing with, share how they were able to fix it, and all of that stuff. Empty nest. This is when parents have raised the children and the children leave, and now it's just them looking at each other, sitting at home, staring each other down like, what in the hell am I doing here with you? Most times, empty nesters, they end up in divorce. Perhaps you made it through. Perhaps you have some knowledge and information where you can share and help folks deal with this. And I'm just telling, these are examples. These are some, maybe your love life, maybe your love life sucked at one point, and you figured out how to pick up some dates, find eligible quality women, eligible quality men, and guess what? People want to know about it, and you'd be surprised. I didn't realize this, but there are a lot of communities online where there are dudes teaching guys how to pick up women. Not all of them is just about sleeping with women. Many of them were just guys are just afraid to approach girls. They didn't have the confidence, so they are learning how to pick up girls from somebody else who had the confidence and was bold enough to say, hey, I'm going to teach these guys how to do that. Blended families, folks getting married every single day and the families are merging. Lots of problems going on with those blended families, kids clashing with the adults, kids clashing with the other children, and perhaps you figured out a way to make it better. Perhaps your family went through some challenges and y'all were able to fix it. Guess what? Other folks want to know about that. So these are just some ideas. Now, setting up the YouTube channel itself is very, very simple. I put together a tutorial. It's free. Just sign up. There's a sign up box underneath this video. Just click that button and I'll send you the tutorial. Now when you get to the page and look at all the instructions, the step by step, it looks long, but you should be able to knock that out in about 10 to 15 minutes. Just follow the steps. Just boom, 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 boom. Set up your channel, make your first video. I wouldn't even worry about getting the high-end microphone. I wouldn't worry about the lighting or anything like that. Just get started. When you look at my first video for T-shirt riches, it's disgusting to me. And if your video is perfect, you're doing it the wrong way, especially if you're just getting started. So just start. Identify a topic that you want to talk about, and the ways you make the money. I forgot. I said I was going to talk about that. There are so many ways. So as you start to build your community up, what you'll find is people want to start asking you a million questions, and so those questions is a good starting point for you. Number one, to come up with other talking points, other topics to talk about on your channel. So knowing what to talk about is going to become easier and easier as you start to create more videos, because they're going to give you a million ideas. So other people, and what you'll find is that in any community, there's always going to be a group of people who want a little extra hand holding. And believe it or not, it's enough of them that will be in your community that will pay you a premium fee to get that hand holding. Now, when I say premium, it could be as simple as a premium product could be them buying an ebook from you that may cost $27, $37, $57, or $97, or even $200. Perhaps you put together a simple video course that shows them how to do this, this, and this. And the videos are not even that difficult. We'll talk about that another day. But it has a higher perceived value, so you could charge more money, $97, $200, $500, even $1,000, depending on the content. There's other ways where somebody might just want to get on the telephone with you and talk to you for an hour. Charge them $97 for the hour, charge them $197 for the hour, whatever you decide you want to charge. That's what we do on the Escape to Medellin site. I have other websites as well. We charge $297 to get on the phone. Once you build your expert status, expertise in your authority building, people will pay you. Again, we're not looking for everybody to pay, but these folks, this handful of folks, 2 to 3% of them, will buy everything that you have. So there's coaching programs that you can work with people on, where you charge more money with coaching, one-on-one coaching, or decide to do group coaching programs via telephone or webinars that you can do once a month. So there's so many ways. There's a client of ours who followed this simple model, and he has workshops every year. They do a couple of $1 million a year from this simple model that they started here. So people pay $1,000, $2,000. They fly from all over the world, come to his annual workshops. Generally has 1 to 2 annual workshops. They come down to descend on the city, hang out with him for 3 days, and he just teaches all this stuff. So all of these models, a combination of these models, are things that you will be able to implement and do as you start to build your community. It's simple, I promise you. So one of the things that a lot of people have started asking me about Medellin is like, hey man, when you go back to Medellin, can I go with you? So guess what? That is a model where we can start perhaps hosting tours where we might say, hey, on these dates, we're going to go to Medellin. We have these hotel rooms blocked out, or we may get a big giant house or condo and plan events and activities every day for a block of 5 days. And so they'll have some guided tours to different places. It may be during the evening after, say, 3 o'clock. They're free to go do whatever they like. But they're asking me, when are you going? So I'm saying, this is why I'm saying this. As you go, people are going to ask you stuff, and then you'll be able to listen to them and say, you know what? I can turn that into a product. I can turn that into a course. I can monetize that. And that's how it all begins. But it starts with you making that first video, being confident enough and bold enough to put your information out there, not worrying about what people think about you, not worrying about how people think you sound, how you look, whether you're slim, fat, ears huge, or nose big, or you got skin issues. Doesn't matter. Don't let these folks stop you from getting your money. So go ahead, sign up for the free tutorial. We'll go through the directions, the instructions, and set up your YouTube channel today. Don't get overwhelmed by what you see. You should be able to go through all of that in 15 minutes, have your channel up, and put your first video up, even if it's just an introduction. Don't worry about how pretty the channel looks. Don't even get into all of that. So my name is Kurt Tess at KurtTessRoss.com. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day.